Thanks for tuning in to the KRVN Sports Podcast page, your home for all of the local broadcasts produced by KRVN Sports. This page and the playback is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, raising the bar on yield performance. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen. One of the most successful high school coaches in the state of Nebraska has decided to step down. Longtime Kearney Catholic girls head coach Rick Petri has decided to step away from coaching the Stars. I spoke with him this week, and he gives some of his reasons for deciding to give up leading the program.
Well, I think there's a number of things. Starting to be more involved in some of the business aspects of the school, and I'm on the finance committee, and I figured this is a good time. I'm not able probably to devote the energy that I need to the basketball program. And, we've got a great assistant who's going to take over. So I think the kids will look forward to that.
You'll just get a chance here to give up the coaching part and still stay on as AD. To me, that would seem a nice way to transition. Yeah,
it is. And I think that hopefully I'll be able to devote a little bit more time to the AD side of things, and especially during the winter months, and kind of go from there.
You've been so consistent over the years. How are you able to do that with the Stars?
I think one of the things is, we kind of established some of the guidelines and groundwork, and don't know if you want to say culture, but the kids knew what to expect year in and year out, and for the most part, they bought into it. And when you're able to get kids to do that, then I think that the consistency comes along with it.
A lot of great years, especially the state title years in 2007 and 2016. When you look back at those teams, what do you remember the most?
Well, I think, number one, 2007, doing it with my daughter, going undefeated, those are a couple of the big things in that team. We had a great group of girls, and we won a couple close games down at the end, and so that was a lot of fun. Obviously, the experience, the success we did, and to bring first state title to the school was kind of fun. And then 2016, another great group of girls. We just missed the year before, and to come back and being down, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 points going in the fourth quarter and coming back and winning it at the buzzer was really, really kind of fun.
You have years like that, and then there's probably other years where you had to feel that maybe you did a better coaching job, years in which maybe you didn't have that much success, but then you had some teams kind of overachieve. I'm sure that also had to be pretty gratifying.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, sometimes parents and fans don't understand that some of your best coaching happens with teams that maybe aren't as successful. So you just kind of, going in there as a coach that maybe this team doesn't quite have the talent, but let's see what we can do with them and bring them along. And you just try and do that.
You've coached for a long time, but at an interesting time in girls basketball. When you think back to when you started to where it is now, boy, the sport has come a long way.
Kids getting better. I think that they're spending a little bit more time with it, hopefully. Sometimes it's tough sometimes being in a volleyball state, to be quite honest. Kids sometimes decide at an earlier age that maybe they want to concentrate on a different sport, and so that's all. But kids also are getting better. Kids spend a little bit more time on it, and so it's been fun watching the progress.
You sent this email out on Wednesday afternoon. I would assume your email and your phone is blown up. I'm sure the outpouring has been pretty large since you made this announcement.
Oh, I've definitely had some few people reach out, so that's been kind of fun.
You mentioned Emily earlier. Why is she the right fit to carry on what you've established there?
Well, I think that she's got some great experience, and I think she's got the energy necessary to maybe grow the program a little bit more. Maybe not grow the program, but the girls will respond to her, and I think that's really important. She was a great assistant this year, and I think she looks forward to putting her own stamp on things.
How are you able to keep going every year? There's a lot of good coaches that get started in this, and then 5-10 years later, they jump out. If you were to talk to a young coach, what would be your secret to keep going and have success?
Well, number one, I think you have to enjoy what you're doing. Two, you have to have a great family behind you, because you can't do that without their support. And my wife Kathy's been through the ups and downs and through the parents in the stands and all that stuff that happens during a coaching career, and she's always been there, and that's important too. And so I think those two things really play a big factor.
That was Rick Petri, who had guided the Stars program since the mid-'90s. Before coming to Kearney Catholic, his only other coaching job had been at Laurel Concord. And there's certainly no doubt at some point in the future he will go into the Nebraska High School Hall of Fame for all that he's accomplished at Kearney Catholic. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen.